Hey, hey, how you doing? You good? Good. We have compiled all the rumors swirling around Summer Game Fest to get you ready for the big event. Are you ready? We are. And we pour one out for the Xbox handheld. It's a shame. All this and more on Season 9, Episode 21 of Press X to Start Gamers Digest. Oh, dear. I went to grab the knob because I can hear myself, but then I was like, oh, no, I got to play the intro. So my hands are just like kind of fumbling around. We're all
And I
good though.
hate grabbing knobs.
It's a shame, you know. As you get older, you have to grab more knobs. What's up, everyone? I'm your host, EJ, aka Sexy Bad Choices. I am joined by.
John MF Ross,
What does the M&F stand for?
the painted.
Oh, okay, okay. That must mean that he is closer to the end, or maybe at the end of his expedition. We'll find out in what we've been playing. Well, this is Price Tag to Start Gamers Digest, a video game news show that connects the most important game news from this past week into an hour-long meal just for you. We are live on YouTube whenever we can make it because, hey, we're both dads of two, and life is hard.
But getting a Switch 2 is not easy.
No, it's not. No, it's not. Turns out, if you don't try for it, you probably have better luck than people who try for it.
Mm-hmm.
Things are crazy out there, man. Funny enough, in the what we've been playing section, I'll be talking a little bit about the Switch as well. Um, so yeah, don't forget you can support us by liking this video, subscribing to this channel, and hit the notification bell. If you are listening to us and not watching, please leave us a review, whatever podcast service you're using. We appreciate it. And then after that, jump actually to our YouTube channel, watch about 5 of our videos. Any 5 you want to pick. Just watch 5 of our videos and like each one of those videos. I'll see it on the backside of YouTube, so I know you're actually doing that. Appreciate it. And if you don't do it, I'm gonna come after you. No, I'm not gonna do that. I'm busy. Raising kids and all that stuff and trying to eat. Yes, do all that thing. Do all those things. We appreciate it. If you want, you can join a conversation by joining our Discord at pressx2start.com/discord. That'll take you where you need to be so you can talk to us and we can talk back to you. All right. Now let's continue talking to you in a very one-directional way. Unless you want to comment below, let us know what you think of Summer Game Fest. Let us know your predictions. Let us know if you're excited for this one. I think this is sort of a weird Summer Game Fest in terms of what's happening around it. But yeah, we'll talk about that. Let's jump into the gaming news with number 1, the full list of partners revealed for Summer Game Fest. So before I delve down into this and our little predictions and of what we might see for this show, as I said, it is a little weird because we are getting, well, not we, you, Sean, hopefully are getting the Switch too.
Hopefully.
And that happens what, Wednesday into Thursday, right? It releases on Thursday.
Thursday. Walmart is weird because they say they'll get it to you on launch day, but then my page says Friday, so I don't know. We'll see. I also might stop by Costco Thursday morning to see what they got going on. Hopefully it ain't packed over there.
Yeah. I'm wishing the best for you.
Yeah.
Wishing the best for you, man. That's crazy. But yeah, like this is weird because generally all the steam, all the hype is into Summer Game Fest because that is the thing that the industry kind of points to. But because we have this new generation of Switch 2, I guess, coming, it is very much so like the energy is kind of split between Summer Game Fest, but also Switch 2.
Did they do that on purpose?
I don't know. That's a very like interesting question in terms of like why would you pick now? There's nothing, as far as I know, there's no real like connection between June 4th or whatever and Nintendo, or like, so just a weird time. And it does kind of feel like maybe they are trying to take the steam out of Summer Game Fest a little bit. I don't know. Just to be along the lines of the Switch 2, there was before a rumor suggesting that there was going to be some kind of direct, some kind of showcase happening around the launch of the Switch 2. I think probably like a week after or so. Apparently, Nate the Hate has come back and said that he doesn't hear that happening anymore. So I don't really know what's happening. I don't know. But Nintendo Switch 2 is one of the partners that will be at Summer Game Fest. So again, we don't know. We'll see. By this time next week, we'll know for sure that the Switch 2 actually launched and that games were shown at Summer Game Fest. Best I could do. All right, let us jump into the Summer Game Fest and into the list of partners revealed. So this is all kind of weird, right? It's weird because this Summer Game Fest is taking place during a time where America is going through a bit of a immigration crisis because of certain individuals. So it was sort of spread through the grapevine, as people say. A lot of developers weren't super keen on coming into America for this. So that was kind of souring the mood of like, oh, there's not going to be that many games showing up, whatever. But then Keeley came out with this list and was like, actually, guys, we're going to have a whole ton of partners showing up here. And I think the list is like around 60 people or so.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So what I did was quickly went through this list. I looked at the studios that stood out to me. I thought like, oh yeah, I know the studio. Oh, they're actually supposed to be coming out with something pretty interesting. And I kind of just noted all that stuff, and we can just go through the list and like, kind of get our gauge our hype for these different games and stuff and what we hope to see. So again, it's a list of like 60 developers. If you want to look at the list, I give you carte blanche to go and find the list and look at it. I am pulling from Insider Gaming by way of Grant Taylor Hill, and I'm just gonna go through the list. Okay, so the first thing that I pulled out was Bandai Namco. The main thing there is that they just released the Elden Ring NIghtreign, which was the multiplayer experience for Elden Ring. I believe when that game came out, like during the demo, we had access to like 3 classes, and I think when the game released, they added 2 more classes. So it's possible they can do like some kind of post-launch thing where they add like another 1 or 2 more classes to that. Maybe do some kind of like, oh, we have this new boss that is like Sekiro inspired, or like one of their other, like, or Armor Core inspired, like some kind of crazy thing like that. I think that'd be an interesting thing for them to do to add on to that game and how that game's doing, which is apparently I believe they say it had like 2 million players or something like that.
Yeah.
2 million. Yeah.
But I mean, that's essentially a drop in the bucket for a game that was so successful.
Yeah, that's also weird. I mean, but then again, it is a thing of like they are peeling the niche of like good Elden Ring players and then peeling the niche off the Elden Ring players that'd be interested in a multiplayer experience.
Multiplayer,
Yeah, and then
honestly,
peeling
it sold
off
2 million in 24 hours versus Elden Ring sales 30 million copies as of April.
Yeah, but then it's peeling off the niche of people who have at least one person to play with, because the solo experience in that is god awful apparently. So it is just 2 million probably is.
I mean, they didn't build it to be a solo experience, so it's gonna be god awful, and that's fine.
You just go play Elden Ring. But yeah, it is a thing of like, I think, well, you could solo queue and then just work with people. I mean, that's what we were doing during the beta thing, because yeah. So again, it's like, okay, that's cool. I would kind of expect for them to show something of that, just because that being like the most recent release. But yeah, we'll see. Next up I have is Capcom. First thing I have is Resident Evil 9. I am not a Resident Evil person, but I have heard Resident Evil 9 pop up in the last like 2 years more than I have said Armor Core in the last 10 years. So eventually Resident Evil 9 will show up at some point, and it seems like this might be the place that they do it. This might be a place where they show it. I added, which I am a bit more excited now. I am actually way more excited for, which is Onimusha. So hopefully they would show us more Onimusha from that first time they showed us. I guess the first 2 times, because they showed it. Was that Game Awards they showed it?
I don't remember a thing about Onimusha. Crazy enough.
Oh, you know what? I don't blame you. I'm interested to try it out, try this new incarnation of it, but like the original trilogy or whatever that was, I just kind of dabbled in it, but I was playing other like sword fighting games at that time, back when there was other sword fighting games that just wasn't one like set of games. So yeah, that's cool. Monster Hunter Wilds, they'll probably show a trailer for the Title 2 update, because that's around the time. They actually just released a Street Fighter collaboration where you can play as
excited about that.
You know what? I still have Monster Hunter Wilds on my PS5, and I'm like, oh, I should definitely try that. But I'm just so engrossed in Expedition right now. I'm just like, I need to, once I finish this, then I'll jump over there and see what's happening over there. But yeah, like the latest update, you can play as Akuma and hunt monsters. Hunt monsters? Why I say monsters like that? Hunt monsters. Yes. So yeah, that's pretty cool. And then I just said like maybe a new like Capcom versus game might be time for something like that. Like the last one was like what, Marvel the Ultimate game that was trashed. I don't know. Yeah, so maybe we get that. And then I also said like probably like announcing Switch 2 versions of games, right? Because as far as I know, no major third party has like said, "Hey, look, our games are coming to Switch too." Right?
What you mean other than like Cyberpunk? What do you mean newer games?
Yeah, like yeah. Other than Cyberpunk, like newer games, yeah. Because like now I'm trying to like pick like a game that would be on Switch too, but that's hard because of their like history with third parties. So it's like I don't know. But yeah, again, I don't know. We'll see if Capcom does that. I mean, Street Fighter can for sure work on Switch too, right? Whatever.
Why not?
Mortal Kombat did. Anyways, next one, Digital Extremes. Only reason why I have this on here is for Soulframe. Do you know what Soulframe is, Sean?
I have no idea. What is it?
Okay. Do you know Warframe?
Yeah.
Yes. Soulframe is essentially Souls-like Warframe. That's it. That's all it is. Like they released some gameplay like a month back or so, and it looks like a faster Souls-like game. I could be wrong calling it a Souls-like game because I didn't actually play it. Just watched the footage, and it did feel though like it was like almost a Souls-like game. Like there was like your movement and stuff felt kind of weighty. Your attacks was very flashy though, which was sort of soul-like. I don't know. If you want to look at it, go watch the video. It's cool. I just want to say that all these words that I said before was in preparation for this next one, which is Embark Studios.
Yeah.
And that's Arc Raiders. That will probably be the biggest announcement of the show with whatever they say, just because of how much steam that game still has.
Yeah, a lot of
And
people are like going through withdrawals on the game, as I see online.
yes, yeah, especially like in the subreddit. It's just like, okay, people, like, calm down. Like, it is. I appreciate how fanatic they are about the game, but it's also kind of annoying because I would get like notifications on my phone that was like, Arc Raider release date or whatever, and it's just like someone like, I want this release date to happen so bad. Yeah, it's just like,
Yeah.
come on, guys. That's not how that should work. But yeah, I think we'll probably get like an open beta. Yeah, it could be same day, like it could be that weekend, right? Because the how long was the first?
How long did the beta last?
Yeah, I
A
feel like it's
week?
like 3. Was it a week, right?
It might have
Because it
been less than
wasn't
that. I don't know.
days.
It felt like a while.
Yeah, it did feel like a while. Okay, so yeah, maybe they'll do open beta that is like that same time frame. I don't know. We'll see. Next up is IO Interactive. They actually put out a uh press release today, and I'm going to pull this from IGN, which is James Bond game from Hitman developer has a new title, 007 First Light. It's official reveal this week, and that is from IGN by way of, oh no, where is that? Is this Rebecca Valentine? Yep, by Rebecca Valentine. So yeah, IO Interactive basically just put up a graphic of the actual protagonist who will be the 007 agent. It's called First Light, so it's probably gonna be. Oh yeah, actually no, it's not probably. I can just read off the text. In a post to Twitter/X today, developer IO Interactive showed a still image of presumably James Bond in silhouette, lit faintly by a single beam of light, with text reading First Light 007, the game revealed this week. It included a hashtag earn the number, likely a reference to the fact that the project is an origin story centered around Bond earning his 007 number. So yeah, it's going to be in origin, which is cool. I think that's where you should go with 007, because if you start at any point of him actually being 007, it's just going to be a very easy
I think it works as a game because, I mean, any established game, he's already a well seasoned
exactly
spy/assassin/ whatever. You bumbling around earning your stripes kind of works.
Absolutely, I agree. I think that makes the most sense. Yeah, so I think it would make sense that they'll show some kind of trailer at Summer Game Fest. So yeah, we'll see. The next thing is NACON. I'm not sure how to pronounce this title. Anyway, but the game is Hell Is Us. We saw this game a couple of times. They released like impressions recently.
Yep.
Yeah, so it makes sense that we'll see more of that game here. Have you been following this game at all?
No, but I seem to remember you kind of liking what we saw originally. It looks like it's only going to be $50.
Yeah.
$50.
Yeah, I am
60 on PS5, but third person action adventure. They just put out did they have a demo out?
Is it out already? Is there a demo out already?
I think they're putting a
There's
demo
a demo
out.
already
So I
that's
mean,
actually good.
Oh, demo on Steam June 2nd to the 16th.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm pretty whelmed by this game. Yeah, like I'm interested to see more of it, but like from what I heard about it, it seems probably not the game for me.
Why not?
One of the bullet points of this game is that it is essentially a mystery. Like it is 50% exploration, 50% action or combat. And the combat looks fine. It doesn't look cool, but it might feel cool to play, which is okay. In
Yeah.
terms of the exploration, they mentioned that um you basically have to pay attention all the time because there's not going to be a quest log. There's not going to be like you can get a map, but
Oh,
it's
one of
not.
those.
Yeah, exactly. Like you like
Alright.
one of the one of the examples given was like uh when you enter the town or whatever, you talk to this
Mhm.
person, and this person was some kind of musician. He was playing some song, whatever. The main character walked over to him, talked to him, and the guy was like, "Yeah, I only know one song." And he's like, "Okay, cool." And you just end the conversation like that. And then the person that was giving this story was saying that like 2 or 3 hours later, they found some
This
like
nigga lied. He knows 2 songs. Nah, go ahead.
no, they found sheet music,
Yeah.
and there was no prompt like, oh, you can give that sheet music to the person. The person was just like,
You gotta remember.
oh, the
Okay.
guy that I talked to, I can go. Yeah. So it is a thing of like, if you are engrossed into this game, you'll have a great time with it. But like, if you are playing multiple games, if you take a break from
You need to
this,
mainline this game. This is like
yeah,
Expedition 33 or Elden Ring. 'Cause I don't think Elden Ring kept a quest log either. So I mean,
no.
fine,
Well,
I guess. Does it have a map at least?
N- so from what they say, that you can pick up a map.
Mm,
Oh man, yeah. So again, I think Hell is Us probably will be pretty cool for those people who will be invested into that, but I don't I don't know. I just don't know.
Not for full price. That's all I'm gonna say. Wait till it
Wait till it
or
drops.
like it'd be nice if it was on
PS Plus.
you know what? It may have a trial
Oh
when it
yeah,
actually
yeah,
launches because
yeah,
PS Premium has a lot of trials.
yeah. The last thing I'll say before jumping to the next thing is that with combat being 50%, that could actually be a problem because if you go too long without combat, when you reach combat, you might like kind of forget that muscle memory, and that could be annoying. That happened. I know that happened with me in some game that I played a long time ago, and I just like I don't
This
like
does
that.
look kind of fire though, but
Yeah, yeah,
gotta be all
yeah,
effing mysterious and stuff.
yeah.
Ever.
It had the Death Stranding vibes to it.
When I can just play Death
With
Stranding later this month. Like,
yeah, well there you go. We'll be talking about that later on. Yeah. So next thing is Nintendo Switch 2 will be at Summer Game Fest, and I
that's
think that's just gonna
interesting.
be. I think it's just gonna be a bunch of third party support. Like I think that like I don't expect for them to show a Mario. I don't expect them for them. I mean, I guess they could show like Metroid and like Donkey Kong because they
Yeah.
aren't out yet. Yeah, they probably do that. Okay, yeah, do that, and then like be like, "Hey guys, we're getting Call of Duty like some
I mean, they
big
already
third
know
party
that.
thing."
Well, I mean, I guess the general populace doesn't know that unless you've
Yeah,
been listening
exactly,
to
exactly.
Press X to
Yeah.
Starter, got your ear to the ground. But Microsoft, they say
Hmm.
they're gonna be day and date parity on all systems.
Yeah. Like, hey you, viewer, listener, what do you think would be the biggest game Nintendo Switch 2 can drop from a third party? Comment down below. Let us know.
Parasite Eve.
Um, they did it. They did it.
One can wish.
Yeah. Okay. So the next studio I wrote down was Pearl Abyss, and
Hmm.
they Crimson Desert is, yeah, I think they could probably show more of that game. Something different from what they've shown, because
They've shown everything. What more do they show?
well, I mean, the first thing they showed was like a snow area, and the second thing they showed was like a field. So it's like, okay, can we get like some something else? I don't know. They whatever they're gonna do, it'll look cool as long as their combat is popping. So we'll see. And then I have Playstack, which is Balatro, and they'll probably put it on Switch too. Like,
This man is making bank.
Yeah, yeah, like, yeah. That's like a wise move. And then it would be really cool if when it comes to Switch 2, there's like a Mario edition of the cards or something, or like a Nintendo edition of the cards. Where it's
That
like,
wouldn't be too far off because Mario on the original DS had a blackjack or poker game. If they really want to be retro with it, yeah. I'm trying to remember. And Luigi was the dealer. What the hell was that? Yeah,
we're gambling back then. Nintendo. Shame.
I'll look it up. Go ahead. I'm curious now. I don't remember.
The next thing I have is PlayStation, and we have Death Stranding that is just weeks away. Ghost of Yotei is going to be this fall. There's a lot of question marks here because there's rumored to be the PlayStation State of Play happening sometime after Summer Game Fest. So it's like, what would they show here other than Death Stranding? I don't know. I honestly, I mean, they could show something new. If they show something new, it could be the Naughty Dog's like secret game that we mentioned last podcast for predictions for the State of Play. Again, it's weird. It's weird that there's a bunch of question marks. I mean, I guess they were supposed to show Marathon, but that's not happening anymore. So, or is it? Or is it? Or is it? I don't know. But yeah, I'm more interested in the next thing, which is Sega. Specifically Jet Set Radio. But there's also the Crazy Taxi reboot. Like, I want to say last Summer Game Fest or the Game Fest before that.
Yeah, they announced all these remakes of their games.
Yeah, and then
I thought they were a few more years off.
I mean, that was a few years ago, right? But like, it is a thing of like, at least for Jet Set.
Oh wait, that was at last.
Was it last year?
Oh, Game Awards.
Was it Game Awards? Oh no,
I feel like it.
Too close. That's too close. No. I need Jet Set Radio. I need Jet Set Radio. That's. Well, was it last?
Oh no, okay, no. It was Game Awards 2023, so technically,
a
year and a half.
I'm about to say time has caught up with me if because I thought there was time that passed between then and now. But yeah. There was leaks of the Jet Set Radio reboot in terms of what that looked like, and it looks like Jet Set Radio. All I'm saying is, Sega, please show us more and give us some kind of release date. Like, please do that. And then also I have like something Sonic. I don't know. You know Sonic better than I do, Sean. Like, what's next?
Remake of Sonic Pinball.
There you go. All right. Switch 2 exclusive. There you go. It'll sell 3 billion copies in the first week.
They need to remake Ikaruga.
Oh yes. Yeah.
Remake that.
You know, it's funny because when you say Ikaruga, my mind jumped to Iron Hander, which is I think that was published by Square Enix, which is the next studio that we're going to talk about. Yeah, magic.
What a segue.
So Square Enix. Final Fantasy, the third part of the remake, right? Like, yeah, they have to show that. Do you think we get Kingdom Hearts?
They need to make up for that ass Twitter post that they made
You mean the
with a
phone?
collage. But what was that? Square?
It was Twitter. Yeah, because you mentioned that it was like just a collage of pictures that I think
Yeah, I was like,
IGN
why is this picture
pulled out.
quality such trash? But then I realized blogs are they're just blowing up the Twitter images that Square,
Oh my goodness.
Twitter image that Square provided.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So yeah, I feel like with them showing images, it's like yeah, like it's progressing, but
Mhm.
it's weird that you would show an image versus a video, seeing how we lived in 2020.
They
Like,
showed us an image of a telephone. What?
look at all the
What?
polygons. It's amazing. So yeah, I would hope that we would get um some kind of like teaser for this thing. Maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, you know what?
Hmm?
That could be a fall game because we're not getting Final Fantasy VII, the third part of the remake this year,
Yeah.
right? Because
I don't think so.
Rebirth came out last year, right? Was that last year or this year?
Ah,
No, it was last year. It
gosh.
was last year. Rebirth came out last year because there was Monster Hunter this like earlier this year, and
Oh
like
yeah,
Monster Hunter.
2024. It just feels like this administration, yo. These 4 months have felt like 4 years. Jesus
It
Christ.
really has. It really has. And then the last thing I have is old FF game remake, which a remaster. I think they can do the thing of this is if everything works out like in a perfect world, they do the thing of Final Fantasy 9 remake drops this weekend, and then we have Kingdom Hearts 4 in the fall or something. It's like, oh, okay. That way, people, both sides of the Square Enix, what? Both sides of Square Enix lovers get something to play.
Hmm.
Sure, sure. Next up, we're near the end. Is Supermassive Games. I have that Directive 8020. That's pretty much the only thing that I guess Until Dawn, whatever the sequel, I guess. I don't know. I don't really care too much about Until Dawn, guys. Sorry, I know. But Directive 8020 looks cool, even though it is a kind of like thing horror doppelganger inspired game. We'll probably see more of that. Makes sense. Last thing I have is Xbox on this list. And
Oh,
this is a weird one. Yeah, because Xbox is having a showcase 2 days after this. So
look what we're bringing to other systems, guys. Witness
oh
me.
man. Right? We are also
All right,
about
so
to
I don't think we'll see OD.
No. Yeah,
Uh,
yeah. I put that on. I was like, I don't know. I mean, Kojima's gonna be there, so it's like possible.
yeah, but I don't see him stealing thunder from Death Stranding that's supposed to pop up 3 weeks later. So
That's true too.
I don't see him coming out to say anything.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But there's Starfield that will probably multi-platform. There's rumors that it's going to be multi-platform. It should be multi-platform. Yeah.
You gonna play it?
No, no,
Mm.
no, no. I don't. I'm sorry. I think, and it sounds mean. If Starfield looked better, I'd play it.
Look better in what manner?
Like in every manner. I don't know. I don't know. That's mean. Like it doesn't. The you know what? I feel like Arc Raiders has one level more of color in it than like
Mm.
Starfield does, and I feel like they almost have very similar styles in terms
Palettes
of
and aesthetics.
yeah, like Starfield's like the like retro future, whereas like Arc Raiders is also kind of retro future, but it's like a bit more colorful.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Nah,
uh,
I can dig it. I get it.
yeah. And then I also have like indie coming to Switch too. Sure, why not? Right? It
Oh, Indiana
everywhere
Jones.
else.
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
I don't see it. No.
Yeah. And then South of Midnight also being like multi-platform. That there was nothing said about that game since it launched, and it all the games around it was like multi-platform or like coming in the future, whatever.
That's
So it's
not
like,
Xbox's core audience's interests. I'm
what do you mean?
curious how well it'll do with South of Midnight. I'm curious how well it'll do if it comes to PlayStation.
Uh, Probably well. I mean, like I would imagine that.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the game I'm thinking of. Yeah,
Yeah,
I see that doing better on PlayStation.
yeah, I agree. Yeah, but we'll see. It's up to them if they like money or not. I don't know. What do I know, right? I'm not a multi-businessman named Phil Spencer.
Mm.
Multi-businessman. That's not even a thing. I just made stuff up. Anyways, number 2 exclusive. Xbox first-party handheld has been sidelined. Well, for now. As Microsoft doubles down on Keenan, not Kel. We're old. And Windows 11 PC gaming optimization. This comes to us from Windows Central by way of, I believe this is Jez Corden. So, what happened here? So, Project Keenan, for those who don't know, that is the Asus handheld that's happening later this year. Oh, you know what? They'll show that. They'll show that at Summer Game Fest. The the Asus handheld that was partnered with Microsoft has like an Xbox version of it. That's going to come. That's still going to come out. What's being sidelined now is think of it as the PlayStation Portal, but for Xbox. So like that dedicated Xbox handheld. Well, I guess not Portal because Portal just streams, but I think you're supposed to be able to play Xbox games natively
Yeah.
on this handheld. But yeah, that is being sidelined, which makes sense because why are you making hardware anymore, Xbox? What are you doing? You're a third party publisher. Make the games, put them everywhere, make the money off of that. You don't need to do this handheld stuff. So it seems like they understood that finally, and they decided that they'll just put this thing down for right now. It was planned to launch 2027. Now, Microsoft has shifted their priorities. Why did they shift their priorities? Because apparently, there was, I forget exactly what device it was, but a portable gaming device recently launched with Steam OS on it and not the Windows platform. And apparently, Steam OS is doing laps around the Windows mobile or handheld
Windows is just too
OS.
damn resource
Bloated.
intensive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now Microsoft is kind of in a panic now because if more more devices or more of these handheld devices start using
Or
Steam
opting to
OS,
use Steam. Yeah.
yeah, then
Or
they're
straight up
kind of
Linux.
yeah, they're screwed. So instead of focusing on this dedicated handheld, they are going to peel back on those efforts and double their efforts on the Windows 11 gaming performance optimization. So that's what's happening here. That's why they're making this move, which makes sense.
Makes
Like you're
sense.
yeah, you're being threatened, so you got to do something about it. So yeah, you do
True.
that. Um, okay, before we jump into the Assassin's Creed stuff, hey, do us a solid. Like this video. Yeah, I'm looking at you, Mr. Kunai. Like this video. Do it. Do it now. And subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell. I don't know why I forget the last one. It's late, guys, and I haven't had my din yet, so my tummy's growling. Yeah, do all those things. If you're listening, please leave us a review on whatever podcast service you're tuned in on. We would greatly appreciate that. If you want, you can join our Discord by joining our Discord at pressx2start.com/Discord. Go there. Okay, number 3. Assassin's Creed Black Flag remake rumors swirl as what? No,
collectible maker.
Yeah, there you go. Collectible maker admits there is something going on. This comes to us
finally. Marcus, you can play Black Flag. You can experience pirate greatness that is something other than One Piece.
Oh my gosh. So this comes to us from IGN by way of Tom Phillips. Ubisoft's unannounced but widely expected Assassin's Creed Black Flag remake has been referenced again, this time by a collectible statue maker. Pure Arts.
Did you play it the first time around?
Yeah.
Okay.
Black Flag is actually one of the few Assassin's Creed games that I played like pretty much all the way through. And like I got to the point where I was just messing around with that game because I liked what I was doing.
Yeah, the mechanics and all that. Yeah.
Yeah. And then the ship comment was like really, really cool. And then whatever the next whatever the next Assassin's Creed game was after that, I was like, all right, guys, see you later.
The American one, I think, was the next official release.
No. What's that one?
Freedom Cry was the slavery little DLC, and then and then the American,
Okay. Okay. So Pure Arts, which makes figurines and busts of countless video game characters, recently held a live stream showing off a range of new Assassin's Creed merchandise. Here, Pure Arts representatives strongly hinted that the remake would surface in the not-too-distant future and noted that there is something going on. During the live stream, Assassin's Creed fans noted the absence of Black Flag hero Edward Kenway from Pure Arts' latest range, prompting a presenter to acknowledge the situation and state of the company was holding off launching a new version of Edward right now for a specific reason. So this is interesting in that if you go back to the full list of presenters presenters at Summer Game Fest, Ubisoft is not on that list. So if there is a Black Flag thing happening, I guess it's gonna be a Ubi Forward, or maybe it could be at the Xbox thing, maybe it could be at the PlayStation thing. But it's just, I guess it's not weird that it's not at Summer Game Fest, because that would require Ubisoft to spend a lot of money to get this thing marketed there, and it doesn't seem like.
Do they really though? If they have a really big thing, isn't Jeff Keighley just pawing at balls to try to get content for his shows?
I mean, maybe I would imagine, but I think I think it's a thing of if how do you say that? Like, is Ubisoft's credit good enough? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Fair. Yeah, it's just like, we it's like we could let you, we could put this on your credit, but like, are you gonna be around in the next like 2 years to like cash it?
Yeah, that's rough. I didn't think about that.
Yeah, it sucks, but All right. Speaking of kind of weird things, number 4, Apple buys its first ever game studio. This comes for us from CNET by way of Zachary Ooh, that's a last name. Alufi? McAlufi?
McCullough.
Okay, we'll go with that. So yeah, this is kind of interesting. Apple, best known for iPhones, MacBooks, and other sleek devices, make their next favorite. might make your next favorite video game. The tech giant on Tuesday confirmed to CNET that it bought the two-person studio Rack 7, the same studio that created popular Apple Arcade exclusive Sneaky Sasquatch. You know that game, Sean? Sneaky Sasquatch?
Of course.
That's on your top 10, right? That's on my top 10 games I'd never heard. We love Sneaky Sasquatch and are excited that the two-person Rack 7 team has joined Apple to continue their work on it with us. An Apple spokesman said in an email, "We will continue to deliver a great experience for Apple Arcade players with hundreds of games from many of the best game developers in the world." Cool. Cool, I guess. I don't what is what is this?
Mm-hmm.
So I would imagine this probably happened because maybe another publisher or studio was looking to buy Rack 7 or something, and
Yeah.
Apple was like, "Oh, we value
We
you
can't have
guys
y'all.
enough." Yeah. So like we'll just go ahead and just buy you. It's just two of you guys and we got the money. So yeah, props to them.
How long before they shut down?
I mean, it's just two of them, right? So like Apple should be able to support them. I guess it depends on Sneaky Sasquatch. Like, are they going to work on a sequel? Like, does it have microtransactions? Because if it doesn't, I don't know. Maybe this time next year we might be talking about the Rack 7 splitting or something. I don't know. We'll see. All right. That was positive news. This one, not so positive. Number 5, Jason Schreier. Why EA canceled a new Black Panther video game? So
because Trump said to cancel all DEI projects and programs or risk funding.
Trump was like, I want to see all the games you're developing. Let me see them all.
How this affects EA, I don't know. This comes off of the back of Sinners doing so well.
Yes. So we have a bit of clarification thanks to the reporting from Jason Schreier. So news comes as a shock to many Cliffhanger employees, according to people familiar with the news event for this week's event. Cliffhanger was actively hiring staff, and Black Panther had recently passed what EA calls a gate, a development milestone where executives review a game progress and decide whether to continue production. The team had momentum and the project was coalescing, according to the people who asked not to be identified discussing non-public information. Others familiar with the project told me that EA executives were frustrated that the game had not yet left pre-production phase after nearly 4 years of development. That
is
seems
rough.
like the problem, right? That's a long time to be in pre-production. Like a game is made in 4 years, 5 years.
Well, not with the budgets that we're looking for nowadays.
Yeah, but I think you're right about that, and I think this gets weird because we have not seen a lick of this game to be like, oh, this is what they're aiming for production wise. Like it has just been in pre-production. Like
yeah, what have they been doing? What do they call what does EA call pre-production?
Great question.
That may vary from company to company.
Yeah. So just to read on another quote from Schreier. The plan, according to the people familiar with the game's development, was to feature various playable heroes from the comic book universe, such as T'Challa, Killmonger, and Shuri, all competing for the mantle of Black Panther, which would grant them superhuman strength. The player would take control of one of these heroes, while the others would become rivals with whom the player could cultivate relationships.
Nope, you complicated it.
Yeah, I think that's a cool. Let me finish reading them. We can talk about this. Yeah. Heroes would be allied against an opposing force of aliens called the Skrulls, shape-shifting from the comic books and shapeshifters from the comic books and movies that were attempting to invade the African nation of Wakanda. That's what you should.
Do we need to let people know that it's an African nation? If they're interested in Black Panther, they already know it's a goddamn African nation.
Yeah, they
Go,
already know
go ahead.
Wakanda.
Go ahead.
Sorry, Wakanda has never been European. You know what I mean? Anyways, some scrolls could have been imposed. No, could have been
Imposters posing
imposters
as allies.
posing as allies. I don't know what the heck. Anyways, my tummy's grumbling. Others might have remembered the player's behavior and acted accordingly, sort of like Shadows of Mordor.
Shadow of Mordor is put out by EA, wasn't it? No, WB Games. Never mind.
WB, yeah. So I think you're right in terms of them overcomplicating this and
give us a single player ass game like fucking Spider-Man or whatever.
They could have done a origin story of T'Challa, and I mean, I guess because you have
taken over from T'Chaka, who was retiring, and preparing his son to take on the mantle, and still could have done the story and not complicate it with. This is what happens when you got too many people at the table. Shit is decided by committee. Oh yeah, that'd be cool. That'd be cool. No.
Here's the thing. I feel like I understand the kind of the issue
what they were going
here.
For.
Yeah, because if you do an origin story of T'Chaka, then it is essentially Black Panther the movie. Like you have those people there, and it's just like you're just kind of making the movies. Yeah, but I can imagine them. I could actually imagine them being like, "Oh no, the Marvel Avengers game got trashed so hard because it was like bargain bin characters compared to the characters we've seen in the movies." But then, if you were to be like, okay, we're not going to do T'Challa, we're going to do T'Chaka, which is his father, then you run into the issue of the Skydance game, the other Black Panther game that is T'Chaka.
It doesn't matter. Marvel has ultimate universes. Pick a damn thing and stick with it.
Yeah,
keep
I
pushing.
know. I just think that they're probably in a super weird position with this game and like having to make a Black Panther game knowing another Black Panther game is being made. It's just like, I don't know.
Is this that thing from back in the 2000s where only one Black person could be at a party? Remember Not Another Teen movie? I didn't thought I was gonna be the only Black guy here. Like, what? This is stupid. So they wasted money for 4 years.
Yeah, that sucks. I think the idea of you being able to pick the T'Chaka or T'Challa, Killmonger, or Shuri is interesting. I think I'm more aligned with you of just like, can you just make this a story of one character and then like have the other people just be a part of the story? Like I don't need all that. And then I do like the idea of having that Shadow of Mordor system.
Yeah.
But I don't know how that works if it's just like a straight story, like single. I don't know.
So somebody mentioned that a Marvel license plus 4 years in pre-production sounds expensive as hell. So,
that makes sense.
And they bit off more than they could chew trying to have a Nemesis system like Shadow of Mordor. So
yeah,
that's rough.
Yeah, that sucks. Will the question is, will we see this game ever? Probably not. I think there are concept art. There are definitely concept art images floating around the internet. So that's going to be the best we get of what this game would have been, could have been. Number 6. This is just kind of going along of what was said with number 5. Basically, the morale at the EA studios is Respawn included is just pretty bad. A bunch of games just gets canceled and they don't really know what's next for them. There's not too much beyond that with that. So I just wanted to add that to give more context of what's happening in EA. And the last thing, which would be the quick hits, number 7, Tango Gameworks is back. They're now recruiting staff for unannounced action games. This comes from some Gamatsu by way of Sal Romano. Yeah, essentially they are back. What is the tagline? It took. Let me boost that text up because boy, that is small. It took us some time, but the official office of Tango Gameworks Inc. is open, and our hybrid work environment finally has its in-office counterpart. The studio said in today's update, these things take time, but our office in Tokyo is back open as we will fill it with our memorabilia from our other projects and begin decorating based on our new brand identity. Yeah, so this is awesome for them. Like it is nice to see that they basically was able to get back together after Microsoft
kind of
let them go. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that was just bad move on Microsoft. But yeah, this is cool. Props to them. It's great to be able to keep on making games. All right, let us jump into what we have been playing. Sean, what have you been playing?
So I was rushing, but not rushing through Clear Obscure Expedition 33. Funny enough, there is a enemy in the game. There are 3 enemies in the game. There's a clear, there's an obscure, there's a clear obscure that you fight in the game later on.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. There is not I don't there may be an Expedition 33 floating around it. I don't know. But
it's you, Sean. It's been you the whole time.
Yeah, you're your own worst enemy. It is interesting to see all of the expedition logs that you pick up from time to time.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's frustrating to know that there was an expedition that was the one who put all the climbing holes in the game.
Yeah.
So some expeditions knew they weren't going to beat the Paintress.
Yeah.
I'm going to do this as spoiler free as possible, but they were just there just to try to, for the next ones. We can't really fight. We're going to try to help in any way we can.
Yeah.
And that same expedition was also mapping out the place.
Yeah.
Why doesn't the game have maps?
Because the maps ain't never make it back.
They didn't have to make it back. They can make it to where you're picking it up along as you find stuff in the overworld. Their idea was they wanted you to get engrossed in the game and not distracted by a mini map. Fine. Give me an overworld map if I pause the game if I want it. Like they said they want people to get engrossed in the game that they spent time making. I'm going to miss some of the things that you made if I don't know where I've been.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's asinine.
Yeah. Like, I will say that the more I've played the game, the more it is like the actual in-world system of recording these logs and stuff is like, oh, this is cool. But then it's like
when you sit down at the camp, your journal, that could have been a time to update the map. Like that's a dumb excuse or a dumb reason.
It's like, why wasn't there more information in these journals? And it is a thing of like, okay, well, if these journals was actually created in the proper sense, the game would probably be very easy because it'd be like, hey, don't go down there because we lost like 8 people down there from this weird looking thing or whatever. And it's just like, oh, okay, I'm not gonna go down there.
Where they are at is fine now. Most of them are like journals in terms of like state of the characters or state of that person's mind and what was going on. There was one party where they were just a nudist party and they were walking around Lumiere or wherever just naked.
Yeah, so I mean, they got far though.
They did.
But yeah, like I will say though, I do because like right now, like I'm I mean, it's not a spoiler. Like I'm inside the monolith, and I just haven't been able to play it today. I hope that we would get sometime to play.
So you're towards the end of Act 2.
Yeah.
You haven't beat her yet. Okay.
No. So yeah, I'm getting through that, and it's just like I am okay. So I'm gonna ask you a question, and it should be a spoiler-free answer. My question to you is: after you beat the game and you have all this, I guess, new context now, does this all make sense?
Yeah, it'll make sense.
Okay, cool.
It'll make sense right after you right after you get into Act 3,
Okay,
and a little bit
because
more even after you beat it. Yeah.
okay, because like because I think I have an idea of like what's happening, but it's like
It will all make sense, I
yeah.
hope. But once they reveal some things, this game has some really good writing. This is cinema level writing that I know Hollywood is going to mess up the same way M. Night Shyamalan messed up The Last Airbender. The roadmap is right there, and I feel like they're going to mess it up.
Yeah.
But these reveals can hit hard if they do it just right, either as a TV series or a movie.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be a movie. I think the last thing.
Yeah, I think they already started pre-production on a movie, but I hope it's like One Piece, whether the creator or the writer or whoever, somebody is directly involved, and they're not just given carte blanche with it, because this is a really good story.
Yeah.
And I'm trying not to give away too much, but I just can't wait for you to finish the game so we can talk about it.
Definitely, yeah. Because like the last thing I'll say, and then I'll move on, is that I saw because I had opened a specific room in the manor.
Yeah.
And I was looking in the room and I saw a thing on the bed, and I was like, wait, what? What? Why is that on the bed? Like, what is that?
I don't remember.
It was a doll of something. Yeah, I don't want to. I mean,
I don't think that's really spoiler, because that's not part of the main game. A lot of the manor is optional for added context. Yeah, I think you only have to go in there really maybe like 2 or 3 times at max. A lot of it is optional stuff, like if you want to go in there to get music pieces. You get a lot of music pieces from it.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Because it was I'm still not gonna say it because it's just whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a figure of like a character essentially.
Okay.
I was like, oh, interesting. Okay. And then I looked through more around that room and I saw other stuff, and I was like, wait, what's happening?
Readers, listeners, watchers, go play this game if you can. This, along with a few other games, are vying for Game of the Year. I guarantee it. This game is going to walk away with something, whether it be art direction. They don't have a award for story. Music, definitely.
Best there's not narration, game narrative. That's
Get best narrative. Is this an indie game?
I don't know. I mean, no, I don't think so, because Skyfall Interactive, I think Kepler Interactive is the publisher. Yeah, so I don't think they're considered indie. Yeah, I don't think they're considered indie.
It says yes, it's indie.
Oh, really?
French studio Sandfall and Interactive, published by Kepler Interactive, which are both known for their indie game development. What is an indie game, though?
So shout out, Kepler Interactive they published Clair Obscur, and they also published Rematch, which is the seafood game.
which
Didn't know they
neither
were
of us
both published
probably
by the
played.
same. No, yeah,
Okay, it just
like
says smaller individuals or smaller development teams without
yeah,
backing and support of a large publisher. So sure.
yeah, yeah. But yeah, that game continues to be a great time, and I am like I have not hit a lull with that game yet, and it's just like it keeps giving you more pictos, which are like your skills, and you can like mix and match them and like continue
I
building out your like
started to do the
loadouts and
glitch
stuff.
where you can get hundreds of pictos, and then I didn't get as many as I wanted, so I reloaded my save and didn't go back. But you can sit there for a good. I know some people said their computers started to crash after like an hour or two or something like that, depending on how
What?
strong your PC is. There's an enemy that basically respawns other enemies endlessly, and you get 5 Lumina points per enemy. And if
Oh,
you have a certain weapon, sometimes it doubles that. So some people
yeah,
sit there for an hour or two if you're strong enough, if you have the right build, and
yeah.
just I had gotten up to like 300 something, and then I was like,
I'm
I want to
good.
redo this. Yeah, no, I wanted
Okay.
to redo it because I saw somebody with like 500 Lumina points on one of the characters, on the main
Oh
character.
wow, yeah.
Yeah,
Is
and I was
that
like,
is that I'm gonna look that up. I'm gonna look that up because that is something that I would like to do.
um,
Is it in Act 2, Act 3?
I don't remember.
I got another question actually. Now that
It's an
you've beat
Olimir. It's an Olimir if you can access Olimir.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
If you did not kill this lady walking around with a huge like
Oh, the giant black ball thing?
yeah.
I saw her and I was like, I'll deal with you later. I never
Ah, good
I
job.
never
Good job. Because
Yeah.
she only spawns
Okay.
once, so you can only do this trick once.
Oh dang. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, good to know. Okay. Um yeah, so now that you've played and beat the
Eclipse.
game,
That's what I was trying to call it. Eclipse ball behind her. Yeah, but go ahead.
okay.
But now that I beat the game.
Now that you beat the game, do you feel any inkling or like drive to because there's like end game stuff, right?
I completed a lot of it,
Yeah.
but the way I play games, I tend to not play it again after I beat it. So I try to do everything before I roll credits. I was not able
Okay.
to do this because this has like something like 80 something optional bosses.
Oof.
How
Yeah.
many
I feel that.
optional?
I feel
Let me
that.
see. Optional. So I did quite a bunch, but
Yeah.
let me see. 14 optional bosses. Let me see how many.
Yeah. Because
There's a
I
bunch.
also I've been going through them as much as I
Mm.
can, and then like also backtracking when I can to like take out the bosses that I can like actually beat now or whatever.
Mhm.
But I know I still have a good number of them that are left. I'm just like, ah, yeah. That's why I was kind of curious, like, what is the end game like? If there's any like draws to want to make you go back and beat those bosses to like do stuff or like spec out your characters differently or whatever.
Um yeah, no, they got at least 80 to 100 optional
Yeah, that's
bosses.
a
I'm
lot.
looking at this. As far as going back to it's really just because you want to see the numbers go up.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Maybe
That's
get some
cool.
more pictos to make the numbers go up more. Like
Yeah.
I because of the build I was using, I two shots. I could have one shot, but I wasn't like severely optimizing everything.
Mm.
But I was able to like literally chunk off health down to like 40% after the first hit.
Oh, okay.
And then they like, this game has second phases.
Yeah, right, yeah.
But I wasn't unkillable, but it was hard to kill me.
Okay. Were you like
I
also
think I
getting
was
health
like,
back as you were doing damage and stuff?
yeah, I was level 60-ish. I had picked those that gave you like 15% health back with base attacks. Stuff
Oh,
like
okay.
that. Like, it really
Wait,
just
you
is
were
rewarding to explore if you can, you know.
yeah,
What you go.
what you were level 60 when you beat the game?
Roughly, yeah.
Okay. I'm like 40. I'm either 40 or like 45.
Once I beat
So
Act 2, you're free to
yeah.
move about the country.
Yeah. Okay. Good to know. Okay. And then the last thing up, so we can wrap this up, is London has discovered the Switch. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, and that's been fun times. I have had her. She was playing Mario Wonder. Oh, actually, she didn't just discover the Switch because I had her play Mario Wonder for a
Yeah,
while.
I remember.
Yeah, but like I was like, oh wait, I could do what I did as a kid and give her a fighting game to play. So first I gave her
Ah,
Tekken to play. Yeah, I gave her Tekken to play, and it was kind of okay, but it was just because there's like so many buttons, just like okay, you're not really getting. You're
give
just
her
kind of
something
pressing things.
simpler.
So.
DJ Street
Yeah.
Fighter or something.
Well, no, I gave her Smash Brothers. I
Oh,
said,
okay.
hey, yeah, play Smash Brothers. She's like, okay, and she knew the character. She picked Peach, and eventually as she played more she discovered smash attacks because of however the buttons were set up. I'm like, oh look at that,
Hmm.
look, yeah, you can do that, you charge it up and all that stuff. And
Hmm.
then I I just showed her how to quit out of like the practice and to pick a different character, and then I showed her how to pick a stage. So now I give her the Switch. I'm like, okay, go ahead and play, and she'll just do her own thing and play. Like we were playing together and stuff. So I think I'm actually going to. I want to jump back into Smash Brothers and like create a stage where she can't fall off, and there's like stuff that she can jump on and stuff and make it a bit more
Yeah.
interactive. So
Hmm.
yeah.
All right. You threw down a gauntlet. I shall start training my spawn. She's already playing the DS. She's asking for
Yeah.
help, but
Okay.
alrighty. I see where this is
Yeah.
going, DJ.
But I mean, the reason wwhy I picked Smash Brothers is because
Hmm.
actually, you know what? I have a bunch of physical Switch games because I was looking on my uh whatever the UI, and I was like, I don't have any games that I can really give to you that you would play other than like Animal Crossing, but I don't think that's like at her level yet. So
Yeah, too much reading, probably.
yeah, yeah. So yeah, I was like, I had Smash Brothers is pretty simple, but yeah, I gotta look at the other games. I can give her Mario Kart or something to do. But yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I have
Yep.
Sean playing Mario Kart on the DS and Mario 3D Land and New Super Mario Brothers
Mhm.
and Kirby.
Oh,
All the Kirby's triple, but
yeah.
it's the DS. You got to find your
Yeah.
DS.
Oh, true. Yeah. 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 I don't think we got any Kirby's games on the Switch. I could look. I could look. I could just look. All right. That's it. We did it. My tummy stopped grumbling. Yeah, I did it too. I don't know what that means. Anyways, that has been it for this episode of Press X Start Gamers Digest. We hope you enjoyed this episode as much as we enjoy making it. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell. Thank you. If you are listening and not watching, please leave us a review on whatever podcast service you're using. That would
Hmm.
greatly help us increase our numbers and get more people out there because every positive review just kind of does something to those services and they like that. So keep doing that, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, and then our Discord, of course. You can join us by joining at pressx2start.com/Discord, and I'll take you to where you need to go. And where we need to go is I was gonna say home, but we're both home. So somewhere else that's not here. So yeah, we'll see you later. You take care.
Peace.
Keep playing games.